What I keep hearing from clients these days is that they feel a shift in the market. Something feels funky, inventory is sitting longer, buyers aren't as motivated to do what we want them to do or what they say they want to do. And there's a lot of conversation around what they're feeling in the market, but I'm not hearing a ton of conversation until I dig and push on what the data says about the market. So what I've asked folks to do is something that I've been calling your inventory cliff. You'll see why I named it that in a minute. What we're doing is I'm asking you to pull up your MLS, and we're going 100K by 100K until you get to a mil, and then you're doing 1 mil to 1.5, 1.5 to 2 mil. You're just going to list all these numbers out in a column. And then from your MLS data, you're going to write off to the side how many active homes are in each of those price ranges. So for example, 200 to 300, 17, 300 to 400, 25. Just making up numbers here, right? All the way down until you get to a level in the millions that you feel like, okay, anything beyond that is no man's land. I don't need to document that type of material. Once you have all that written down, then I want for you to look at where is your inventory cliff? What do I mean by that? What I mean is when I've had clients go through and do this, what we've noticed is in almost every single market, there's a pretty clear trend of this price range, for example, 300 to 700, which I know is a thick price range. Bear with me, hang on. There's a ton of inventory. And then beyond that, either below or above that price range, it's clear blue open waters. There's a lot of playing room. There's not as much inventory. Why that's important to know is a couple of things. One, in our next video, we're going to be talking about message and method and what you can be doing to pull in new sellers with this information. But also, it's wildly important to have this data when you're discussing pricing with sellers, of course, right? To be able to sit down in front of a seller and say, listen, if you're considering selling in this market, you have got to be priced appropriately and your home has to be spick and span. There can be no distractions to cause someone to wonder whether or not they want your home. Makes a massive difference in that pricing conversation. Beyond that too, if you're sitting down with someone who is outside of that thick, tight inventory situation, then you can have a whole conversation about your home still has to show perfectly. And it still needs to be priced appropriately, but we won't likely see as many days on market for you as we will with these other folks. This also gives you permission to say to someone, listen, if you have to net X number of dollars, I'm telling you right now, I don't see it. This may not be the market for you to sell in. Folks come to us for fiduciary advice about what's going on in the housing market. We're not there to be their best friends. We're not even there necessarily to make them feel good, although we hope that they feel good as a result of our business with them. They want us to coach them and guide them through what should I do in this market. Without the data, if you're just going on gut feelings, you are not doing your job. This is malpractice. So stop for a second, go into your MLS, jot down this information. There's better example in the written text in my blog as well. Take a look at that. And then next week, we'll talk more about message and method.